Oh yeah, it is indeed time. Happy Sunday. Good morning. It is I, your host, PoGokeRo, with yet another fantastic episode of Redstone, LAPIS LAZULI. Oh yeah. So yeah, guys, hey, chillin'. Let me turn this down a little bit. So what's up? What's going on, guys? Good morning. Happy Sunday. Here I am, chilling at home, like I always am. Standing before my terrible iron farm. More like a cat farm. It's like a cat farm. I mean, that occasionally catches iron golems. Here's my fantastic little holding facility, and I can launch them at will when I press these buttons, but first I have to cure them. Okay. I made a gate just because I felt like I chopped down a bunch of trees and made a wall to because they kept getting blown up by creepers when I was working on stuff. So I made a wall, not the wall, a wall, and then I moved all the forest outside of the wall. I just replanted the forest that was here, and I made it nice and level and even. And then I made this melon farm. So the melons grow up there, and then when they pop out, pistons will push them out, and that cart that goes back and forth will pick them up, and then deposit it in this hopper, where I have lots of stuff. So that's all I do. I don't even worry about the melon farm anymore. Just automatic. Made a wall. That's nice. Made a wall. And then over here by the river, I didn't want to make a wall. So what I made instead were blueberry bushes or raspberry or berry bushes. Berry bushes have lots of big thorns, and they make it so that monsters don't want to hang out or play or do anything. Look at this poor guy. He's just spawned inside of one. What's going on, dude? Oh, you're dead. I'm not gonna pick that up. I'd get stuck. Here. Where's my bow and arrow? I can get this guy. What's up, buddy? Yep. Okay. I improved the rail system a little bit. I mean, a little tiny bit. I mean, I can either send them to the facility or like to my little cheesy stop here. I used to have carts here, but I think the animals stole them. So I have to, because if you don't secure your carts, things steal them, and I hate it. It happens all the time. But I need to put in the effort to make a proper station so that they can't do that. Alright, so suppose I want to go on a trip. I just go like that. Yay! So I replanted the forest, so it's pretty dark and scary out here. But there's my little tower that I built a long time ago. There's all the monsters waiting for me. They're waiting for you. Here's the village. Yeah, you can see, zombies are coming in. Oh, I hope the villagers are all locked up. In fact, I have to go save them because in hard mode, zombies will break down doors. See, there's a villager in here who's asleep. But the zombie, because I'm playing in hard mode, the zombie will break down doors. Like that poor guy right there almost got killed. I don't know what the zombie was doing. Is there a door anywhere around here? I need a door to make for this guy. These are all in use. Well, that one house wasn't in use. No one sleeps here. Give this guy a door. Until I find another place to build one. Right there, there's one. Alright. Build some doors. Come on, a little privacy here, huh? Alright. So yeah, what I need to do, what I need to do to continue is I need to build a wall around this place, or somehow defend it from zombies and whatnot. Yeah, I'm gonna run away. Okay. Here, I shouldn't be here at night. That's the problem. Ah, they're all sleeping. This pig is stealing my carts. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do something real quick. Just fix this one little place here. Oh, that was give them some more cropland, because they're in snow place. This is like the worst place to be growing crops. What are you guys doing? I don't get it. Agriculture in like a snowy land? Jeez, guys. So I sneak into the village at night and work on the crops. Ah, some wheat. Wheat. All right. So this is how this works. Goodbye. Welcome back to my little farm, pig. All right. Thanks for coming. Made it. So yeah, now I'm back here. Don't have any carrots on me. I should go get some. Come on, dude, carrots. No carrots down here. That's a fail. Why do I need carrots? To move the pig over to my little pen that I made. That way I'll have two, so if I ever want to breed and make more, I can. Here, piggy piggy. There you are, way over there. So much easier than leashes. No slabs? No. Piggy piggy. Yo, guy, come on, let's go. Wake up here. Oh, yes, here we go. Now we're talking. Here, make babies. I have no wheat for you guys, sorry. Ooh, bamboo. Leave this here. I don't know. So yeah, it's Sunday. Come on, guy. Talk about stuff. You're playing Minecraft. Yeah, because this is Minecraft. This is what I do. Um, more coffee. So, what's going on, guys? Well, I went to the Saturday market, like I always do, on every Saturday morning. And it was a very contentious experience this time. I don't know if things are getting more riled up or what, but, like, it went pretty much the way it always goes, right? I stand there with my sign, people walk by and make statements, so I engage them, and they keep talking to me as they walk away. So it's like, it's getting harder and harder to talk to them because they keep walking while they talk to me. So by a point, I'm sitting there like kind of trying to shout to them to talk to them because they're talking to me, they're shouting back at me. So I'm like, and the conversation always goes the same way. I love Trump. Oh, really? Have you read Robert Mueller's report? No. Then what? Then you don't know what's going on. Like, again, and I had to point out, that's a failure of Nancy Pelosi. As Speaker of the House, she has the power to make this front page news every day with hearings. Every day a new witness. Every day a new piece of the puzzle. Is she doing that? No. She is... I don't know what she's doing. Trying to protect the president, I think. Like, so, man, what are the revelations that have happened? There's so many of them, I can't keep track. There was the census. Okay, so everyone knows about how Donald Trump wants to put the citizenship question on the census, because we're coming up on that, the census. And everyone argued, no, dude, the only reason why you want to put a citizenship question on there is to get less people to respond to your census. So then we have an inaccurate count, so that you can maintain white supremacy. That's the only reason why you do it. And then, of course, Trump is like, no, I wouldn't want to do that. So no, we just want to put it on there. Yeah. Well, one of the main operatives in this push, he died. And his daughter was a very progressive woman. And she was going through his files and found an email where he wrote down, oh yeah, the reason why we want to do this is to suppress the Democratic vote. That's why we're doing it. That's the only reason why we're doing it, is to suppress the Democratic vote and ensure minority rule. So the daughter printed out this email and brought it before the judge, and now we're going to go see if this is taken seriously. Because, I mean, yeah, we're in the... I mean, no one wants to say it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it alienates a lot of people. But we're in the midst of a civil war, a cold civil war. And a lot of people don't know it. I mean, they don't realize it because they're like kind of asleep. So they're going through the motions, and then they don't realize that their motions that have been programmed into them are perpetuating a certain kind of ideology. Like, I talked to while I was there at the Saturday market. Yeah, they tried all sorts of things, right? They tried yelling at me, they tried cursing at me, and then but they couldn't get me out. They couldn't squeeze me out of there. I just wouldn't leave. So then they started using their favorite tactic, lying. They started lying about me. They used the authority, right? Because they're not about free speech. They're about using power. So they used the power of the organization to try to remove me. The way they did that was they lied about what I was about. They were lying and saying that I was being racist. I was like, what do you mean I'm being racist? Like, who's accusing me of being racist? You want to kick me out for being racist, and you're not even saying what I said or who said I said it? Like, that's crazy. And then I found out the people who were upset that I was and said I was calling being a racist were ethnic Russian Americans. They were getting angry that I was pointing out that Russia attacked the United States. They thought that I was being racist toward Russians for saying that the Russian government, the Russians attacked the United States, like it was like Robert Mueller just said in his speech. What? So they had to misrepresent what I was talking about because I don't know why, but yeah, they did. So they tried to say that I was a racist. Some guy tried to say that I was being aggressive. But that doesn't make any sense because I'm holding a sign standing there, not really moving much. There's not much space in the free speech zone to move around. So yeah, people talk to me as they're walking away. So our voices get louder and louder as they increase the distance because I can't change the distance. But if they're gonna interact with me, I gotta interact back. So yeah, but I get blamed for it. Then some young musician dude just came by and started hurling all these bad words at me. All these bad words, and I would not respond in kind. I would not do it. That did not stop him from going to the authorities of the organization and saying that I insulted him. He baited me. He tried to get me to do it, but I didn't. And so his plan didn't work. But he kept trying to do it anyways. Even though he's missing that key component, he tried to ignore it and keep going. Because his goal is to kick me out because he didn't like my speech. Because fascists don't actually care about free speech. All they care about is power. This is an old group, a group of old guys. The first group that prompted me to show up. They're a bunch of crypto Nazis. So yeah, when you look at them, they don't look like Nazis. They look like a bunch of old white guys. Hanging out, and their sign, it doesn't look like it's a Nazi sign, right? Because it's really bland. It says bring back the Bill of Rights. Well, what does that mean, bring back the Bill of Rights? Well, you don't know, right? It doesn't even talk about it. You gotta go, what does he mean? Are you talking about the oppression of black people? No, that's not. They're not talking about that. So yeah, those are bad guys, and because I stand there, they do everything they can to get rid of me. They called the police on me last year. They misrepresented what I was talking about to the authorities of the place to get me booted out. They tried to claim all of the shade for themselves, so that and forced me to stand out in the sun, which I refused to do. Yeah, it's getting hardcore. It's getting tough because I've been out there for a year, and they can't get rid of me. I mean, they're trying, but yeah, the key factor that I always run into is that everyone who's opposed has not read the Mueller report, or they misrepresent what the Mueller report says. Like I was saying, I was talking to this woman, and she says, oh yeah, the start of the FBI investigation was the Steele dossier. No, that's false. That's false. The start of the investigation was George Papadopoulos talking drunkenly to the Australian ambassador, who then informed the FBI, which got this whole thing started. But then she came back and said, no, George Papadopoulos was set up. It's like, oh really? So he pled to a setup. So what I'm saying is I need to trust the criminals and not trust the authority, the FBI, the investigators. What? So, and then she was misled about the Steele dossier, right? She's like, okay, so the DNC paid for the Steele dossier. I'm like, no, the DNC paid for the Steele dossier after Free Beacon dropped it. Free Beacon is the one who first started. Free Beacon is a right-wing website, propaganda website, and they paid for opposition research against Donald Trump until he became the presumptive Republican nominee. Then they dropped it, and the DNC picked it up. But yeah, and after a while, the DNC dropped it. So, but she tried to use that to discredit the whole Mueller investigation, because she's got this false information in her head, and so she's drawing false conclusions from it. And she's a smart woman, so her conclusions are not wrong given the information she has. What I'm saying is that her information was wrong. And so we kept bumping heads. Like, she kept trying to establish something, I would dispute it, because I would say, nope, that's false. And so she wouldn't let go of her false facts. So that's where we were at. We couldn't go anywhere. She has our alternative facts, and she won't leave them. And because of our alternative facts, she comes to false conclusions. And it's happening over and over again. That's our dilemma in our country right now. That's the dilemma. And that dilemma is being exacerbated by Nancy Pelosi, because she's allowing Donald Trump, because this kind of confusion benefits Donald Trump. If it were clear, Donald Trump would be in big trouble. But it's not clear, because Donald Trump purposely tries to make things muddy and mess it up. So what Nancy Pelosi needs to do is counter the disinformation campaign, and she's not doing it. She's not doing it. Her and Robert Mueller have ceded the public space, the information space, to Donald Trump, who then destroys it and wrecks it. So now regular Americans aren't getting the full picture, and they can't make good decisions because they don't have good information. Because Nancy Pelosi and Robert Mueller are like trapped in 1970s thinking, when everyone's reading a newspaper and not like on Twitter and getting instant information and like social media. Like, my goodness. So yeah, that's part of my deal with Nancy Pelosi right now, is that I think she's utterly failing, and I'm seeing it when I go out there and talk to people. They have all this wrong information, and like, I'm one guy with my freaking YouTube channel. It's hard for me to get people to pay attention to me, but Nancy Pelosi is like Speaker of the House. She has a whole bunch of power. To command attention and make news, and she doesn't do it. She cedes that power to Donald Trump. I don't understand why. I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, because really nice woman, and she really wanted to talk to me, but her facts were totally wrong. And so every one of her statements I had to counter. So we got nowhere. It felt very bad, is what I'm saying. Is that our interaction was not a pleasant one, because everything she said I countered, and so that we couldn't move anywhere. We were stuck. Yeah, so what happened was I got a bunch of negative reporting from right-wing people who didn't like my message, and they had to lie about what I was about or exaggerate it to get me kicked out. I mean, I know we have a lot of Russian Americans, but Russian Americans, you should be the most vocal about this. You know more than anyone else what kind of bad crap that Putin can do. You know more than anyone else, right? You need to, like, there's a carryover, leftover ideology about Russia that includes the old Soviet Union, and the old Soviet Union looks like a block to Americans, right? But you know, Russian Americans, you know, and I know that Russia is not a block. There's a whole bunch of awesome Russian people who are poor, dude, and it sucks. It's really, really awful in Russia because of all the corruption. Like, everything's falling apart, and it's terrible. Because all of the wealth is getting sucked up by corruption. And so the people are suffering bad in Russia because the oligarchs control everything. So that's why Russian Americans are not in Russia, they're over here in America, where we don't have that kind of level of corruption, at least not yet. Donald Trump is trying to make America into Russia. So Russian Americans, you know more than anyone else about the badness of what can happen. And so you need to speak out. Like, if you, like, yeah, I don't mean to, I'm not pointing you out, I'm pointing to the Russian oligarchs, and I'm pointing to the Russian government and the Russian military and Putin. That's what I'm pointing at. I'm not pointing at the Russian Americans. But Russian Americans, dude, if you're feeling like you're getting splashed, if my words are hurting you, you may want to think about your ideology. Like, it's a fact that the Russian government attacked the United States. Our own intelligence agency has confirmed it. And so if you're a Russian American and you're offended, personally offended, that you feel like, oh, I'm being accused of attacking the Americans. No, dude, it's your ethnic country that's doing it, not you. You better catch up, because we're getting attacked, and that means you're getting attacked. I'm walking around this place forever. Let's go down and mine. Let's go, let's work on this place. Super dark. Go that way. Oh, silk touch. For stone, yeah, let's get some stone. So there's that attack. So the poor staff that at the Saturday market, they are stuck in a hard position because they need to keep their job. Right? Number one, keep my job. Don't lose my job. I need my job. So there's that one, right? And their job requires them to maintain order because their customers are the other merchants who are selling their wares. And if the merchants aren't happy, that means they need to make the merchants happy, because the merchants are the reason why there's a market. If the merchants are not happy and don't show up to the market, there won't be a market. So I get it, and so they want to keep their job, keep the market, keep things going. Regardless of what my message is, that's the number one priority. So yeah, there's a lot of tension, and it's awful. It puts them in a bad position. I don't know what to do about it, because the fascists know this. That's why they exploit it. Because again, they don't care about truth, so they're just gonna do whatever it takes to get power, and they'll hurt whoever it takes to do it, to get it. You know, that's the nature of fascism. That's why they're so bad. That's why they're so bad. And we have to fight against them. Diamonds, check it out. Diamonds! Diamonds are a miner's best friend. All this gravel though, right? Oh my gosh. So over gravel. More redstone. Look, I love redstone. How deep is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, it's not bad. 8. A block of 8. I'm already full up of stuff, of crap. Get rid of my crap again. No, the diamonds. 18. 19. Yep. See, that's why you got to get the fortune 3, because it has a chance to spawn extra when you mine. So those 8 diamonds turn into 19. That's how you do it. That's why enchantments are important in this game. So yeah, here, I'll use my old list here of stuff. The main fear I hear from people about not impeaching Donald Trump is that they're afraid that it's just going to go to the Senate, and then Mitch McConnell will bury it and say, "Oh well, he's not guilty. I don't think he's guilty," and then that's the end of it, right? Mitch McConnell, because Mitch McConnell's a Confederate, so why would he think his actions are his own actions are treasonous? That's why he's doing it. Like, he's like, yeah, oh, you mean this hurts the United States government? Great, that's why he's doing it. It means it's working. So instead of this going, but you have to remember, it's not going to go to the Senate. We're not talking about the Senate. The Senate is not where the power is right now for the Democrats. Where the power is the House. So what they can do is they can hold impeachment hearings and then just never end them. They just never end. That's the whole point. Impeachment hearings don't end until, like, the election. Do you see what I mean? Nancy Pelosi, you need to be controlling the airwaves with this story and not let anything else show up, because it's the most important story since, like, the Emancipation Proclamation. Like, this document that Robert Mueller has put out is that significant. It's indicating that our federal government, our executive branch, is the asset of a foreign government. That is gigantic. That is the most important thing that has come out of the government in a long time in a paper. Because that means we're not free, right? That means we're under the control of a foreign government. We've lost our sovereignty. I gotta dump some of this stuff off. Sure, why not here? Sure! Need wood. So, yeah. Lagging? Oh, crazy lag. Yeah, look at that crazy lag. What's going on? Why the lag? What else is going on? I mean, we got. Have you seen this government is messed up? The Trump government is, like, doing some crazy stuff. I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to hide this stuff. I mean, that's what they do. That's what Trump does to facilities. And why is he treating them like this? Why is he doing it? Like, holding cells like that? You know, I don't see them going after European visa deniers or whatever. Yeah, this is. So you have to look at the. You have to look at the refugee crisis, or the southern border refugee crisis, the same way that you look at the Syrian refugees and from the Middle East coming into Europe. Europe is dealing with it. They're taking in their refugees and processing them and trying to assimilate them. Trump is being a fascist and trying to expel the refugees. Now he's trying to pressure Mexico into, like, closing their borders by threatening to wreck the American economy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's red. Did it stop? What's going on here? Why am I not working out? Uh-oh. It's why am I losing out my network? Where's my network meter? Alright, should be alright, guy. Come on, help me out. Did it drop out or something? I don't know what happened. There it goes. Yeah, okay. Oh, I don't know what happened. Alright. So what I was saying is that we need to deal with our refugee crisis. That there's some bad stuff going on there, and that's gonna leave a terrible mark on our legacy. I mean, it already has. Oh, there's the United States acting like the United States again with its racism. Cool. What else can I talk about? I don't know. I need some good stuff. I don't really know about any good stuff going on. I mean, I made this nice base, but no one joins my game, so like, the loneliness of Minecraft. So, okay, the big situation is that we have this divide in our country because some people are getting fed bad information, and it's causing this big divide. But really, when we look at things from a different perspective, that divide disappears. So I always just talk about, you know, how it's the 99 versus the 1%. But what does that look like? Here, let me show you. Let me show you for a second. I'm gonna switch over here to this graphic that I found. Okay, this graphic I got from somewhere, Axio Visual, from a Deutsche Bank chart. This chart shows you the distribution of wealth in the United States and how it's changed over the years. Okay, if you look over here, the bottom 50% of Americans have like almost zero wealth. All right, you add on the bottom with the next 40 up, and they have less than 50% of the wealth in America. That means the bottom 90% have less than 50% of the wealth. All right, then you go up, and sure, the top 10%. The top 10% of the people in America own, like, what is that, like 50, 60, 70%? 60% of all the wealth. Top 10% own 60%, all of that. The bottom 50% maybe own 1. I live at the bottom 50%, right? My net worth is maybe 10 grand, maybe. If you minus out my student loans from my savings and you add in my car, I'm maybe 10 grand, maybe. So I'm way down here. So you have to know what it means when we say tax the rich and shove it back down to the bottom. Do you see how that will how that will change dynamics? If you would just take like half of what the top 1% has, they still have a ton of stuff for being the top 1%. But if you shove that down to the bottom, it will transform reality, totally transform reality for them. So, and it will generate further wealth. It will create more wealth. It will multiply. So, yeah, you guys have to understand where we're at in terms of being divided. There's the divide between Democrats and Republican people, regular people, is not nearly as significant as the divide between their economics. Like a poor white KKK member has more in common with a poor black All Lives Matter member. They have more in common with each other than that white guy has with Bill Gates. Even though this poor white guy KKK member wants to believe that he and Bill Gates are on the same team because they're the same skin color, they're not. Because poor KKK dude is poor. He's got nothing. Bill Gates doesn't even care about you. Any of the rich guys, I don't care. Even the racist rich people don't care about you, because when you're rich, race doesn't matter anymore. They got rich white guys, they got rich black guys, they got rich Arab guys. When you're rich, it doesn't matter what race you are. What matters if you have money. So yeah, the rich white guys will totally hang out with rich black guys as long as they're rich, right? Everyone's got to be rich. That's the deal. That's their club. And you can tell it's a club because the vast majority of Americans are excluded. That means we lose all the opportunities, we lose all the benefits, we don't have access to nearly any of the great stuff. They have the education, they get the health care, they get the infrastructure, they get everything. That's where I'm talking about wealth. Wealth is not merely money. Wealth is the investment in your society and in you as an individual. So if you're compelled to go to college, if you have to go and it's paid for, that's an investment in you as a person, by your group, by your society. Because then you will go out into your society and be a better citizen, which then improves the quality of the society, right? It's a feedback mechanism. Like, it all works out. And so when you decouple that mechanism, the way the rich have, and you divert all the resources back up to the rich, and you let the rest of society atrophy, you degrade your society bit by bit, which is what is happening now. We're turning into oligarch Russia, where the rich control everything. There's no rights, there's no freedom, and no mobility. You can't say anything about the government, or they'll kill you. There's no freedom of the press because journalists get murdered by the mafia state, and they have to launder their money because it's all blood money. So that's what Donald Trump wants to do, right? But we don't want to do that. We want to invest in our country. We want to invest in our people and make a stronger community. And the way you do that is that you invest in the individuals. So you give them healthcare, you give them healthcare, you give them education, and you give them an opportunity to socialize with other community members. So here's the thing. The Enclosure Act that happened in England that kicked off all the serfs off their land and shoved them into the cities, it's continuing. This dynamic is moving, because what's happening is parks and other public spaces, public squares, spaces open to the public are being snuffed out bit by bit, and everything is becoming privatized. And when it's all privatized, then you have nowhere to socialize, because everywhere you go to socialize costs money. And when you don't have any money, then you don't want to socialize because you don't have any money to spend to get access to other humans to socialize. And to socialize, you need to have conducive environment, not an environment that's trying to suck money out of you. Just an environment where you can just be, just hang out. Not even talk, not sell, not buy anything, just hang out, enjoy, talk, and be with your fellow human being. Because when you're in a totally stress-free environment like that, that's when civil discourse takes place. It emerges. Right? You have to create the conditions conducive to civil society, or you're not going to get a civil society. So bit by bit, we've lost our public spaces where we can just freely talk to each other and meet each other and see each other, because they've been privatized and monetized, and now we're atomized. Now, we don't even look at Japan. They have people who don't leave their house ever. They're called NEETs, not in education, employment, or training. Entire swaths of their population are like this. They just don't leave. Why? Why go out? Why do anything? like, sure, you can go get a job in Japan and work your butt off for the rest of your life, and be horribly overworked. But that, that's not appealing. That doesn't inspire me to like move anywhere, or to like seize life. And if there's no opportunity to seize, where am I going to go? So, yeah, the American society has not been investing in itself. How are you going to get entrepreneurs who risk a lot of their life to make an idea come into being? How are you going to get that when you have an environment that murders entrepreneurs if they fail? Like when you have healthcare, like that's part of the reason. Like I'm in public sector, I work in the public sector, so I have access to pretty decent healthcare with my liberal state. So that's great. I'm secure. But I'm looking at these entrepreneurs. I'm like, man, how do you guys do it? Like your premiums are outrageous, just stupid. And so if you go for the cheapest plan, you're still paying way too much money, but then you have deductibles that kill you. So it's like, man, it's like you don't have healthcare. You're getting cheated out of it every single way. It's like telling you, yo, America, we don't want entrepreneurs. Look how dangerous it is. It's way safer to stay inside a company that already gives you stuff. Don't risk yourself. What kind of future are we going to have if that's the message that we're giving to our society? Don't risk everything because we made the world very, very dangerous for you. That's awful. You're not going to get innovation that way. You're not going to get growth. You're not going to get the next generation of leaders that solve problems, that have a vision and will make that vision come forth. You're not going to get that because you have a dangerous environment that's not conducive to it. You have made a horrible environment. I mean, yeah, dude, we have great people who have so many different perspectives. They have so many different ways of looking at this problem that all you got to do is go out there and just sample a little bit of America, and you'll be like, yo, I've learned so much from all these different perspectives. It's amazing. I can now focus on this problem. And yeah, but what we have is we have atomized our population so they don't talk to each other. We've divided them, and then we created a business environment, a social environment where it's super dangerous and risky to do anything on your own. What does that do? That concentrates power in the hands of the few. Who benefits from that? Because remember, we have there's two competing worldviews. There's one worldview that says power should be diffused in the people, and the other worldview says power should be condensed in the hands of the few, the elite. Right? So we can start attaching labels to this. Right? This is democracy. This is fascism. This is authoritarianism. This is socialism. Government control by the people, and this is dictatorship. Control of the government by one person. All the people can go to hell. This is respect for human rights, because that's everybody. And this is, we ignore human rights, it's only power. All right? Two different worldviews that we got going on here. Man, that's kind of crazy how I made a forest. It looks like a jungle that I'm living in. And then you step out and like, where am I going? And then it's not very deep. Horsey, check it out. Nice. What's up, horse? Let's see if you're any good. Yay, Horsey loves me. Alright, I have to go get a saddle. Then I have no way of getting him back, though. Look at this. Like, where's my door? I can't even... Look at this mess. There's my door. All right. So that's another thing I should do is I should like hack a path through this forest. Kind of a slow horse. Can't really jump. Oh well. Let's go for a ride. Let's ride! So I had a run-in, I guess. Man, look at these ice towers. Those are kind of cool, dude. Those ice towers. Wow, if I ever need blue ice, I know where to go. Ugh. It's built into the rock. That's neat. No idea where I'm going. I think this is north. Maybe this is east. I don't know. This is huge. Oh, these snowy plains go on forever. What I'm looking for is an outpost, because when you find the pillager out... What? What? Oh, come on, I don't have a lead. That was weird. I don't see a pillager outpost. No! Come on, horsey. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. There you go. All right, horsey. Shit, can't even get up these little tiny steps. There we go. There's the village. Is that the village, or is that this the smaller village I found? No, it's it's the smaller village. Because I don't have my... Oh yeah, no, this is the village. This is my train. Hardcore snowing. There we go. I'm home. With a new horse. That's not really that great. Oh Man, what else? See, I need a guest. I need my co-host to hear. I talked to this guy. He said he was gonna do it, but he keeps flaking. Every time. Every time. I shouldn't even ask him anymore. Maybe he's sending me he's trying to tell me something. Hey, notice how I keep. Oh, what? That's right. He's like, hey, notice how I accept your invitation to be on your show and then I always flake? And I keep doing that? You think I'm doing that on accident? Oh, okay, guy, now I get it. Saba. Yeah, interesting things. Our country is going through some crazy times right now, and it's going to get more and more nuts. The Trump administration just defied a federal court order. The court order was about Michael Flynn and how he's supposed to give up the government was going to release the transcripts about when he talked to the Russian ambassador about overthrowing, like subverting the United States government. And the Department of Justice told this federal judge, yeah, you don't need to see it. And just defied a court order. So yeah, they just told a judge to F off. A federal judge. So that was on Friday. So we're going to see if that means anything. Because if the Trump administration is defying not only Congress, but also the legislative branch, that means they've gone full dictatorship. They've disregarded all checks and balances, and all they want is pure power. They're not following anything. I mean, we know that's where they're going anyways. We knew that. But now it's going to be like more or less confirmed. Yeah, I love this. Whee! Haha. So yeah, so Monday is going to be the crazy day, right? We're going to see if there's any repercussions, because there hasn't been any repercussions for anything. Trump defies all these court orders, defies all these subpoenas. Nancy Pelosi doesn't really do anything. Like, she doesn't really follow the Constitution, so she's not really like enforcing the Congress, the contempt of Congress. Ow. Alright, here, close enough. I'm home. Sort of. No way of getting. Oh, there we go. So, alright guys, so stay tuned in. Yeah, don't get too comfortable. Things are going to get nuts. Remember that Donald Trump is not planning on leaving in 2020, even if he loses the election. He's not going to leave. So our best defense against that is to make sure that we're all operating on the same page and using the same set of facts. And Donald Trump is trying to and the right wing, the fascists, they're trying to confuse the facts. so that people don't know what's going on. But if they know what's going on, then they're gonna be on Team America. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. I hope things are going well with you. Drop me a line if you want me to talk about anything or have anything to say, and I will catch you next time. All right, PoGokeRo out. Peace.